YouTube, it is Nicole back, and welcome back to Nicole's View. So, I meant to talk about Monique and what all went down, but last week I was out of town on vacation and I meant to talk about this, and now's the perfect time to talk about it. So, as you guys already know, Monique had a Mother's Day comedy special, I believe at the Apollo Theater. And of course, she talked about how she felt like she was done wrong by, these three quote unquote black titans in Black Hollyweird: Oprah Winfrey, Tyler Perry, and Lee Daniels. And it all went back to how she felt like she was treated after the mega success of Precious, and how she basically felt like she was blackballed. And for me personally, it is no one's right to tell this woman how she should feel. She is in the ends of that industry. And as many of us has kind of pretty much guessed that this Black Hollywood industry is cutthroat. It is not easy. And Monique has the personality that she's going to tell it like it is. You take it or you don't take it. You like it or you don't like it. She's the type of person, she's not going to beat around the bushes. She's going to be straight with you. And there are people who are like that. Love them or hate them. Fine. But to me, I think it's wrong for people to attack her because they think she's being the angry black woman. Let me tell you guys something. If Monique would have just came out and said, you know what, I felt very hurt by how I felt that Lee Daniels treated me, how Oprah Winfrey treated me, how Tyler Perry treated me, she could have said that in the most diplomatic, cool, calm, collective, whatever you want to say, and she still would have been attacked. You know why she still would have been attacked? Because many people in our community and beyond in white supremacy, they have crowned Oprah Winfrey as she is just the end all be all. And if you truly know Oprah Winfrey's history, she's not. She is about as phony as they come. She is just one of the lucky few who got that break and was able to make all that money, and by the skin of her teeth. Thus far, she has not had a quote unquote big scandal, or as we like to say, quote unquote nigga moment. But it almost happened in the mid 90s with the beef industry when she was had her show back in the day, and she wanted, she was talking real negative in their eyes. And at that time, many people was, watching her and was, taking it all in. And they took her to court because they felt like she was hurting the industry because she had such a, big name, well known, and people just ate it up. And she barely got away with that. So Oprah Winfrey is not untouchable, okay? If Bill Cosby is going through what he's going through right now, Oprah Winfrey still has plenty of time. Don't think that she is a savior. Don't think that she is just going to ride off into the sunset. Trust me, they're always planning and waiting, because when they feel like they have that in to take you down, they'll take her down too. So let's always remember that. But she's been quite lucky, in my opinion. She's been very, very lucky. I'm actually pretty surprised that there hasn't been anything bigger other than the whole meat industry issue. But anyway, and then we all know how Lee Daniels is, the real deal. He's gotten into, the white Hollyweird industry, and his head is on maximum swole. You can just tell by the way he talks, by the way he carries himself. And yeah, we already know. I mean, here he is with Empire, all the movies he's made, and then there's the connection with Oprah Winfrey. So they're all, floating on cloud nine right now. It's all good right now in their world. And then you have Tyler Perry, you know. And to me, over the years, I've just got sick of the same kind of cliche movies that he's done. It was cute in the beginning, it was entertaining, but then after a while, it became old, it became stale, it became just too shucking and jiving, too much coonish in a lot of these TV shows, the movies. I'm like, you know what? It's just not for me anymore. Back in the day, yes, when it was fresh, it was new, it was cute, it was funny. But to me, I don't find it funny anymore. It's just coon entertainment. I need something better. I need something more in depth. I need something for real. So, Monique, here she is over the past few years, she's been trying to tell people how she was treated. And many people don't like how she delivered that. And so, when she was, doing this whole comedy skit, she just told it like it was. And then for people to say, how dare she say that? You know, you wouldn't go say that to your boss. You wouldn't say, I'm like, wait a minute, but that's her job. At the end of the day, she's known for being a stand up comedian. And when you are a comedian, you tell your truth. That's what I always thought, with a twist of humor. That's how all the greats did it, right? So now there are those like this Adrienne Bailon, or however the hell you say her last name. I really don't care at this point. For her to sit up here and act so pompous. So there's a classier way to do this and that and da da da. I just wonder, would Adrienne be saying that about, let's say, what are some of the most, well-known, um, famous white actresses in Hollywood? Meryl Streep. Let's say this was Meryl Streep complaining about how she felt she was treated. I guarantee you, Adrienne here, Miss I want to be down one minute and then the next thinking she's white. I guarantee you she'd be on the talk. I'm sorry, the talk. I'm thinking of the other one. The real. She would be on here rooting on Meryl Streep. I guarantee you it. If this was Sharon Osbourne from the talk, and we all know how she gets down, we all know how she talks, I guarantee you, Adrienne here, oh, she'd be singing her praises. But see, since it's a black woman, it's a problem. See, when we speak up and we're bold about in our belief and how we feel like we're treated, we're looked as, oh, you're just loud. You're just ghetto. You're just this. You're just that. But when white women do it, they're standing in their womanhood. They're feminists. Rock on, sister. But when it's us, no, no. We're too ghetto. We're too loud. We're too unclassy. We're unprofessional. And that's what it is. And then you have Tamara over here who thinks she's 100% white. She's just like, let's just stop. I don't even pay her any attention at this point because she's just about as phony and as fake as you can get. And the only one who truly kept it real is Lonnie Love. Thank you, Lonnie. There are some times where I kind of look at you like, I side at you, but you know what? On this, I'll give you major props because she was the only one on this panel who took up for Monique. Okay, and I think at one point even they were at odds, but I guess they, apologized, they hashed it out, and they're cool. So Lonnie took up for Monique, and I'm glad she did. And then we have here Kim Whitley, who is just a major buffoonish, coonish, wannabe comedian. I've never found her funny. I've always thought she was corny as hell. I always thought, what's the point? She tries too hard. It's just not, I feel like she's not natural. It's like she's pulls at trying to be funny, and it's just not funny to me. And of course, she's going to kiss all of their asses, including Oprah, because, she has her little stupid week reality show on Oprah's network. So of course she's going to kiss Miss Massa's feet, Miss Black Massa's feet. Let's call it what it is. She's like the Black Massa for her, for Kim. So I'm going to play the audio. I'm not going to play the video, but this is like a screenshot of the audio in a way. So yeah, I'm hoping this won't screw up with my copyright, get any copyright strikes or anything like that. So here we go.
It just breaks my heart to see, because I respect the three people that she's talking about. I mean, Lee Daniels is very, very talented. Oprah, I mean, come on. And we've had Tyler Perry on our show, and he's amazing. But not only that, like, Monique is a phenomenal actress. She didn't win that Oscar for nothing. Playing Mary and Precious, she killed it. Yeah. And not only that, have y'all seen Bessie? Yes. She played Ma Rainey. And Bessie, she killed it too. So I just want everybody to get along and I do, because seriously, I agree with her, because they're all so talented, and I would really love to see all three of them come together and kill it again. Yes. Do you see what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about.
Sadly, what some of the comments though are, obviously this has gone social. Social media is what the world is about now.
Yeah.
And when you read the comments, a lot of the comments are like that they shouldn't just get along because she's keeping it real and she should be heard. Now, I have an issue with people thinking that every time someone is loud or boisterous or saying something negative, that's them keeping it real. Why does it always have to be that just because you all over the place and being loud and making a lot of noise, that's the truth and that's real?
I'm going to add to that, okay?
Why can't keeping it real be classy? Okay. Why can't keeping it real be, let me hold my peace and let me move on? Why can't keeping it real be, you know what? They may have done that, but I'm going to respect them and move forward. Why can't that be keeping it real?
Right.
The thing is, too, I want to say is that Precious, that was an independent movie. People have to realize that. So some of the comments that people don't understand this system, this industry, that was an independent movie. It wasn't even supposed to be a hit. Monique made it a hit. So I can understand why she's feeling some type of way. Because she
but again, there's a way to address it. You get what I'm saying? And I think that's what we're saying.
But I don't think
you can keep it real and
that
live
was
your
her
truth
show,
in a different way.
That was her show. That was her show. I say things on my show. And I don't want somebody taking 10 seconds and then all of a sudden, now you judging me from that. That was her comedy show. Whether you think it was funny or not, that was her comedy show. So you got to judge it a little bit different.
Right, but what can you say after that line? What could have said before that? What could have preceded before I said such and such?
Because she went in. But I also want to say that the type of language that she used is the same type of language that Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle, male comics do.
She does.
I use it too.
I've heard Lonnie does use that language.
It is your safe place.
It's just y'all not hearing it because y'all not used to female comics. See, that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. Why did she say that? Because y'all not used to seeing female
I have a real question. How would you feel if someone came at you that way? Or spoke about you in a comedy act like that?
I mean, people have said that about me online. Have you just realized I've been called ham hog neck?
That's what I'm trying to say. Is sometimes the biggest bark.
Oh my God!
People would say they just keeping it real,
but just like Dave Chappelle's skit, when keeping it real goes wrong, there it is.
Right.
Because I still feel like there's certain people, walk easy on. I don't know if we should say that for me. And maybe because I know these people personally, they haven't done it to me. I don't feel like you're blackballed. When you're blackballed, you don't work.
Right. Somebody may feel like everybody's saying you tread lightly, you walk easy, you don't burn bridges, and that's out of fear. I disagree. How about it's out of respect for the person and not for yourself?
Well, you can't tell somebody out of respect. That's no respect.
But that's my point. I think that you can have a disagreement and you can live in your truth, but at the same time, know your truth respectfully and respect others. If you want someone to respect you, you should also be respectful
She
to them.
needs to sit down and have a conversation.
She needs to talk to Oprah. Oprah, Tyler,
conversation.
they all need to sit down and hash it out. We are going on 8 years now.
Make another movie, please.
Okay. Oh, God, that got on my nerves. Yeah, and I saw how Lonnie, she really tried to be, she was the only one, in my opinion, trying to defend Monique, and I really appreciate her for that. And Adrienne, oh God, her and Kim, they are just so just annoying, pathetic. Please, Adrienne, you don't know what went down between them. It's easy for you to sit up here and say, be respectful, just let it go, forget about it. No. If she truly feels like these particular three did something wrong, did her wrong in the industry, hurt any type of possible deals that may have been on the table, you'd be angry too. I think you'd be very angry. And for her to sit up here and act like she wouldn't be, bullshit. Okay, I call bullshit on it. But anyway, Monique, in her great fashion, she didn't attack her, but in so many ways she shaded the hell out of her on the sly. And Monique said, "My loves, this baby gets a pass. She is too young to even to begin to understand. However, Adrienne, if you would like to discuss, we're open." And Monique also said, "We await your reply, sister. This is Monique. I hope I'm not being too loud for you. LOL." And by the way, I am fighting for young sisters like you who haven't won an Academy Award. Hold on, guys. Let's see. If you really want to tell us something, my husband and I would be more than happy to come on the show, and you can tell us directly. And there it is. And Monique is the type of person, she's going to tell you how it is. You like it or you don't. You take it or you don't. Hey, it is what it is. And she's not going to be the type to pussyfoot around and be like, do it this way, do it that way, and it should have been this way. No, sorry. That there is a thing called personalities. People have different personalities. There are people who are meek and mild and can let things go. And there are people who are like, no, you're not going to run over me. You're not going to think you're trying to get one up over me. I'm going to tell you how it is. And this is how it is. And that's just Monique. It's like, take it or leave it. You don't have to like it. You don't have to love it. I don't love everything Monique has done in her professional career, but I respect her for having the courage to come out against someone like Oprah Winfrey and telling the world how she was truly upset at how Oprah, I don't know if you guys saw, there was like an hour or 20-minute video where her and her husband were being interviewed on a radio station, and she flat out said the reason why she had this thing with Oprah, because Oprah brought on her family, her brother, her mother. They somehow convinced, at the time when Oprah had her show, to come on Oprah's show at the time to talk about Monique and how Monique was molested. And she felt betrayed that Oprah went behind her back, first asked her, and Monique was like, declined and said, no, I don't want to be on the show and I would prefer you not have my family on there. But she went behind her back and still somehow convinced them to go on the show. And she said her and her mom were at odds for years. But just because of that alone. And she's like, I had no interest. I did not want to be on the show. And I would have preferred that she did not book my family on the show to talk about my personal life of being molested as a child. Or, you know what I'm saying? And Oprah did it anyway. See, this is why I can't stand people like Oprah Winfrey. And I also could not stand, I usually call her Okra Winfrey. And another reason why I could never stand Okra Winfrey, because I saw what she did when she interviewed Michael back in the day. We're talking about Michael Jackson here. When she first did the interview, was it in 1990, was it 3 or 2? No, 91. I think it was like 91 or 92. I can't believe I'm actually forgetting that. I should know my MJ history. Anyway, when she did that interview, that Oprah was known, but when she did that interview with Michael, that interview went around the world in over like 90 plus million homes. That interview is what really put Oprah Winfrey on that mega superstar. You know what I'm saying? That interview alone is what did it. Yes, she was popular in America, well known, and was, starting to really pop off. But when she did that interview with Michael, that is what took her to the next level. She'll never admit it. She'll never own up to it. And when around 1995, when the first allegations against Michael happened, which was in 93, she wanted to interview, at that point it was 95 and Michael was married to Lisa Marie Presley. She wanted to interview Michael again, but he turned her down and went with that white supremacist devil, Diane Sawyer, who I hate and can't stand. So ever since then, she had this hang up against Michael. And on the sly, when she would have anything, any topics or subjects on her show about child molestation, or if Michael's name was involved in it, or if she's talking about him, she would on the sly bring that up. And on the sly in interviews, saying, yeah, I think he did it and this and that, and I think there was something going. She was doing that kind of stuff. And I said, you know what? I can't get down with Oprah. I really can't, because she will throw you under the bus in a New York minute. She will use you in a New York minute. And this is what Monique said she did to her. It's disrespectful. Why would you do that? And she's claiming that she was molested as a child. Why would you disrespect Monique's feelings and go behind her back and do that show when she asked you not to do it? And to me, Monique has every right to be angry about that against her. And see, this is what Adrienne over here, Miss Wanting to Be Down, doesn't get. But see, she's not telling the whole story. And that's one reason why to this day, I cannot stand Oprah Winfrey. I cannot stand her. Because she is an opportunist. It's all about ratings. It's all about money. It's all about her and her network. And before her network, it was her show. So I am Team Monique on this. I respect this woman for telling it like it is, for putting out the truth, not being scared, not being a punk. And to me, I feel like Monique will be fine. So what? She won't get the big major movie deals or offers or whatever. At this point, it doesn't even matter. She can just go on tour and make money on the comedy circuit. She doesn't even have to do movies. She can make money that way. So if they've already treated her like that behind the scenes and she's letting it be known, what is there to lose at this point? She'll be fine. The fact that she's telling her truth as a Black woman, many people don't like it. And the fact that she did it in her own way, in her comedy show, it's a problem for some. But I support her. And all those who want to crap on her and say, she's wrong, she shouldn't have did it like this, and blah, blah, blah. You wouldn't go tell your boss. Stop comparing your 9 to 5 to what this woman does on a daily basis, okay? It doesn't work. Just because you can't go talk to your boss any kind of way doesn't mean that she doesn't have the means to speak her truth and still make a living. Monique will be okay. And she has my support. So shout out to Monique. And shout out to all those who want to crap on her, talk bad about her, saying she's too loud, she's too this, she's too that. Keep being punks. This is why many of us are being beat down right now as it is by these white supremacist race soldiers, because we want to just protest and we shall overcome and, don't rock the boat. This is why we will continue to be punks. So kudos to Monique for standing up in her own truth and telling it like it is. Thank you, Monique. We need more Moniques out there. Anyway, sorry guys. I didn't mean this video to be this long, but I had a lot to say about this since I didn't speak about it earlier. So anyway, let me know what you guys think about this. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.